I'm Susan from Tarjac. You may know us as the source for the best camo for your guns and bows, but we do so much more. Our custom work with automotive parts can transform any vehicle, our ATVs, sleds, four-wheelers, motorcycles. We've received national recognition for our work with Orange County Choppers, and we are most proud of our partnership with the future servicemen by providing customized helmets for the Army-Navy game. From the national stage to your favorite hunting ground, it's Tarjac.
Hello and welcome to the CNY Business Connection. I'm Jason Weinstein. Coming up on this week's show, the Occupy Wall Street protests hit home. We'll have a pair of stories to show you just how. Plus, we'll have the latest in Business Connection Classified, some local job postings. But we'll begin with the latest in business news from around the area.
With New York State moving toward a decision on hydrofracking, the State Assembly continues to review what will be involved in the process. It held a hearing on a revised draft of the Environmental Impact Statement put together by the DEC. The revised draft takes into account public response to the original impact statement released 2 years ago. The statement will be used for guidelines and standards to govern high-volume hydraulic fracturing natural gas drilling operations. Business recovery centers are now open in Broome and Tioga County. One in the Metro Center in downtown Binghamton, the other at the Tioga County Economic Development and Planning in Owego. The centers are designated just for business owners looking for help after the flood. The SBA says even if you rent out your property, you are considered a business owner. And if you're not sure what you qualify for, it is worth a trip to the Recovery Center.
A lot of times the businesses just don't know that there is help out there. If we can't help them directly, we do have other information to let them know of other programs that's helping them. We wouldn't want them to think they have to do it on their own.
The SBA can help with financial assistance up to $2 million. The deadline to apply for aid is November 14th. In Washington, impending defense cuts are making both Republicans and Democrats nervous, and lawmakers with big military bases in their districts are taking steps to protect them. New York Congressman Richard Hanna, a Republican, and Tim Bishop, a Democrat, are forming a working group to highlight the value of New York's defense assets, especially in times of war. The congressmen say from upstate to Long Island, New York is home to many units that provide exemplary service to the security of our state and nation. Hanna represents upstate's 24th district. Bishop's district is downstate on Long Island. Central New York has shed industrial jobs at a faster rate than New York State as a whole over a recent 12-month period, but the state's losses in the sector slowed in comparison to previous years. Central New York has about 100,000 industrial workers, a drop of 2.7% from the previous year, according to the 2012 New York Manufacturers Register, an annual industry directory. The register tracked industrial jobs in New York from August 2010 to August 2011. Statewide industrial employment declined roughly 1% in the same period. New York is now home to about 735,000 industrial workers, according to the register. Consumer confidence in Greater Binghamton is the lowest in New York State, leading a charge that saw confidence fall in 8 of 9 regions in New York State. That is according to a new Siena College survey. Although the Binghamton area and some others upstate have avoided the sharp economic dips that other parts of the state have experienced over the past few years, that picture has obviously changed. Binghamton's consumer confidence in the third quarter is 10% lower than it was the same time last year. The director of the survey says that the debt crisis, the volatile stock market, and persistent unemployment all have hammered away at people's confidence in the economy. New York's Attorney General is suing Bank of New York Mellon, claiming it defrauded customers on foreign currency exchanges. Eric Schneiderman says those clients included public and private pension funds, including those of the SUNY system. The suit alleges that over a 10-year period, BNY Mellon consistently misrepresented to customers the rates it would give foreign currency transactions. Even before it began its contract with the U.S. Army to produce 10 Black Hawk helicopter simulators, Rockwell Collins knew the demand was there for more.
The Army has a need for somewhere between 29 to 35 of these TBOS devices at their full complement, and then there's foreign military sales that are interested in this capability as well.
Now the U.S. Army is tapping the Binghamton company for 4 more simulators at a cost of $35.7 million.
Well, that $35 million extension that you referenced for the additional 4 devices makes this program value about $85 million to date.
We're flying at about 2,000 feet here in this simulator, the 10th Black Hawk simulator built at Rockwell Collins. There are 4 more to be built as part of the Army's extension with the company. Now, from the high-fidelity visuals to the vibrating seats, it's a complete sensory experience for the training pilot.
These transportable simulators provide high-fidelity simulation that can be deployed anywhere in the world, set up within 8 hours' time.
Roughly 20 employees work on the Transportable Black Hawk Operations Simulator, or TBOS, with 90% of the project work to be done in Binghamton. Those employees will continue working on the TBOS until the contract extension's expected completion in September of 2015.
We're proud of these devices. We're proud of the work that's been done here in Binghamton, and that work will continue this way.
This is a story about pictures and words. Children's books washed away when floodwaters surged. Without the Very Hungry Caterpillar and Goodnight Goon, little boys and girls wondered what they were going to do.
Elementary age, their assignment is read 15 minutes every night. And there was one little girl who actually broke down in tears because she didn't have any books, so she couldn't do her homework.
But thanks to a gift from this penguin, thousands of children will be reading again.
The day they arrived, I came in and I wanted to cry. I thought it was so wonderful.
The Penguin Publishing Company in Kirkwood has donated 12,000 books to Broome-Tioga BOCES to be distributed to 15 area school districts as needed.
BOCES sent a letter in requesting this donation, and we felt this was a good way to get the books out there, have somebody who has knowledge of what the individual needs are among the schools.
There are enough books here for students from preschool through high school.
When they said that some of the things were even younger, we said everybody's trying to reach out and do early literacy, so it'll be books for every grade level and then some.
I've talked to a couple people who knew that this was happening, and they're very excited, and they can't wait till they start to be able to start handing them out.
This donation should help classrooms author a happy ending for some young readers.
And now time for the latest in Business Connection Classified, some job postings from around the area. In collaboration with the Rural Health Network of South Central New York, AVRE will be interviewing candidates for a low vision clinic access specialist. This position will connect persons with sustained vision loss to the Low Vision Center at AVRE and work with area eye care practices to integrate low vision services into standard eye care treatment for such persons. They will also build bridges with the eye care community, facilitate referrals, and create patient awareness and demand through educating collateral professionals and eye care office staff, direct-to-consumer presentations, and related activities. For more information and to apply online, visit the RHSC website and view AmeriCorps positions. As business grows, AVRE continues to create good jobs for legally blind individuals in various manufacturing, assembly, and packaging departments. These positions range from entry-level assembly and manufacturing to machine operators. AVRE offers competitive wages and benefits. Interested legally blind individuals should contact Kevin Berger, Accounting and Human Resources Manager, at 607-724-2428 or email him at avreinfo@avreus.org. For more information on those jobs, you can go to bizconnecttv.com/jobs or follow us on Twitter at BizConnectTV. We'll take a break, but when we come back, the Occupy Wall Street protests hit home.
I'm Norm Poltenson. I've published the Central New York Business Journal for 25 years. Our success is based on the fact that we know only one audience, owners and managers of businesses in Central New York. We publish stories for them, we don't offer sound bites, and we always source our information. Maybe technology's changed since I started publishing 25 years ago, but not our mission. You can always rely on the Central New York Business Journal providing your business news.
Make your company's job opportunities stand out and get seen. The Binghamton Business Connection and BizConnectTV.com have created the area's first video job posting service. Don't hope a few words of text will get you the local candidates you want. Get your opportunities seen on the Binghamton Business Connection TV show and BizConnectTV.com/jobs. For an inexpensive multimedia and visual way to showcase your job openings, call 239-0199, email bizconnecttv@gmail.com, and watch the Binghamton Business Connection on My8. Welcome back. The Occupy Wall Street protests are starting to hit home, and we've got a pair of stories for you to show you how. We'll begin with Larry Sperano in the story of one Binghamton University protester.
The demonstrations continue on Wall Street and are spreading to other cities. 700 people were arrested over the weekend when, according to police, they left pedestrian walkways and blocked traffic on the Brooklyn Bridge. Among those charged with disorderly conduct was BU political science major Tyler Albertario. After more than 4 decades, are students going back to the 60s?
I hope so. I hope so. When I was on the Brooklyn Bridge, I felt like I was living in 1968. It was a thrilling experience.
Thrilling or not, is it the type of hit-home issue that will get masses of college students to join the protest? Albertario says yes, because it involves national economic issues that also affect students.
You know, it's a tough situation for a lot of my friends. They don't know if they're going to be on the streets when they graduate. They don't know if they're going to be able to find a job, and they don't know if they'll ever get out of this debt that they're in with regards to student loans.
It really depends on who you talk to on campus. Personally, I'm lucky enough to not have any student debt or student loans or anything like that. I'm just fortunate in that. But there are people who do, and they care very strongly one way or the other.
First of all, there is a defined message called "We Are the 99%."
And while disagreements erupt, there is no doubt that the demonstrations are providing an excitement not seen, at least among some students, since the Vietnam War protests.
This is the beginning of something really big, I feel. This movement, it's a grassroots movement. It started from the very bottom and it's blowing up really quickly.
Our thanks to Larry for that. And an entire protest has moved from Wall Street to Ithaca. Travis Eldridge has more.
Here on the streets of Ithaca, it doesn't look like Lower Manhattan, but that didn't stop these protesters from continuing the Occupy Wall Street movement today.
Ithaca is not Wall Street, but Ithaca is the United States of America, and this is a national movement. This is not a movement just for Wall Street.
While the protesters say they are hoping to take back America for the people, each individual has their own thoughts on what should change.
The priorities that are skewed are greed instead of human need.
I'm protesting the cuts to services for the most vulnerable of all the people in our society.
While there may be a lack of focus to the movement, there are plenty of grievances, as you can see from this handout. But where it lacks in focus, the movement gains in enthusiasm.
Chants echoed through the streets around the Ithaca Commons, helping to unify the around 250 people that joined in the movement.
It really is in some ways about creating a community with people, because that's the only way it's going to change. I mean, we try to organize with people that are, living in poverty, that are working at minimum wage jobs, and it's not easy.
By linking people in different parts of the country, the protesters hope to generate ideas on ways to fix problems facing the United States.
We hope to demonstrate what a true democracy looks like, and so through that process we will come to decide what it is that we actually demand.
These protesters continue to plan future gatherings, hoping enough demonstration will bring lasting change.
Our thanks to Travis for that. And that does it for the CNY Business Connection. Thank you very much for joining us. Until next time, I'm Jason Weinstein. Have a good one. Make your company's job opportunities stand out and get seen. The Binghamton Business Connection and BizConnectTV.com have created the area's first video job posting service. Don't hope a few words of text will get you the local candidates you want. Get your opportunities seen on the Binghamton Business Connection TV show and BizConnectTV.com/jobs. For an inexpensive multimedia and visual way to showcase your job openings, call 239-0199, email bizconnecttv@gmail.com, and watch the Binghamton Business Connection on My8.